Scenario 15. Entertainment and Hobbies. Real Scene 3. World Curiosities. Curiosity can do more things than kill a cat, and if emotions, well recognized as feminine, are inimical to feline life, then jealousy would soon leave the whole world catless. O. Henry. My goal. After I finish Scenario 15, I'll learn how to make unreal conditional sentences with if clauses and past modals. Embedded questions will also be studied in this scenario. In the reading material, I'll find some interesting facts about curiosities of the world.
Introductory questions. Number 1. What curiosities do you know in your city or country? Number 2. Do you know about the Chocolate Museum in Germany? Number 3. How much do you know about the Golden Museum in Bogota?
Introduction. Curiosity is any natural inquisitive behavior evident by observation in many animal species, and is the emotional aspect of living beings that engenders exploration, investigation, and learning. In essence, curiosity is a term that describes an unknown number of behavioral and psychological mechanisms, which have the effect of impelling beings to seek information and to interact with their environment and with other beings in their vicinity. Curiosity is common to human beings of all ages, from infancy to old age, and is easy to observe in many other animal species, from apes and cats to fish, reptiles, and insects. Many aspects of exploration are shared among all beings, as all known terrestrial beings share similar aspects such as a limited size and a need to seek out food sources. Though humans are sometimes considered curious, even especially curious, they often miss the obvious when compared to other animals. What happens is that human curiosity, combined with the ability to think in an abstract way, leads to fantasy and imagination. This, in turn, leads to a uniquely human way of thinking called reasoning, which is abstract and self-aware or conscious. This particular ability means most humans rely heavily on beliefs which they have formed based on past experiences and which may or may not be true.
Grammar Structure 1. Unreal conditional sentences with if. Unreal conditional sentences refer to situations that are either untrue, impossible, or hypothetical. They describe imaginary situations using simple past tense and consequences using present tense. For example, if he had been here yesterday, he would have helped you. If I had had enough money, I would have traveled around the world.
Writing. Exercise. Complete the following conversation by filling in the blanks with the correct form of the verb supplied.
If you $1 million, what you find and do.
I a big house. Buy.
If you a black cat, you bad luck. See and have.
What you if you a mirror. Do and break.
I don't know. Perhaps I do anything. Will.
You if you scared by a ghost, run and get.
If I a ghost, I For help. See and scream.
Unusual museums. Cabinets of Curiosities. What began as collections of natural history artifacts kept by early European scientists have become today's natural history museums. Two of the most famous cabinets were those of Ole Worm and Athanasius Kircher. These 17th century cabinets, actually room-sized collections, were filled with preserved animals, horns, tusks, skeletons, minerals, and so on. They contained a mix of fact and fiction, including apparently mythical creatures. Worm's collection contained, for example, what he thought was a Scythian lamb, a woolly fern thought to be the type of plant sheep creature. The specimens were often collected during exploration expeditions and trading voyages. Cabinets of curiosities would often serve scientific advancement when images of their contents were published. The catalogue of Worm's collection, published in the Museum Vonanium, 1655, used the collection artifacts as a starting point for speculations on philosophy, science, and natural history. Cabinets of curiosities were limited to those who could afford to create and maintain them. Many monarchs, in particular, developed large collections. Frederick III of Denmark, who added Worm's collection to his own after Worm's death, was one such monarch. The Museum of Jurassic Technology is located in the Palms district of Los Angeles. It was founded by David and Diana Wilson in 1989. The museum claims to have a specialized repository of relics and artifacts from the late Jurassic, with an emphasis on those that demonstrate unusual or curious technological qualities. This explains the museum's name and also suggests its puzzling nature, since the late Jurassic period ended over 150 million years before the appearance of hominoids, and, in particular, before anything that could be called technology. Its catalogue includes a mixture of artistic, scientific, and bizarrely unclassifiable items that evoke the cabinets of curiosities that were the 18th century predecessors of modern natural history museums. The claims of many of the museum's exhibits strain credibility, provoking an array of interpretations from commentators and much critical praise. The museum was the subject of a book by Lawrence Veschler in 1995, and the museum's founder, David Wilson, received a MacArthur Foundation Genius Award in 2003. The museum contains a number of permanent exhibitions, including an exhibit about household myths such as, if a child holds a dying creature in his or her hands, the child will develop a tremor in their hands as an adult. A collection devoted to trailer park culture. A collection of micro-miniature sculptures and paintings, including a sculpture of Pope John Paul II, carved from a single human hair and housed in the eye of a needle. A collection of stereographic photographs.
Writing, Grammar Structure 2. Past models. We use would have or should have plus past participle to give opinions about actions in the past. What should I have done? You should have told her. You shouldn't have lied to her. What would you have done? You should have gone out last night. You should have called a taxi. I would have called her. I wouldn't have said anything. Exercise.
Formulate a response to the following situations using a model would. 1. You can hear a lot of noise next door and you're trying to study. What might you say? 2. Sue has been wearing the same blouse for weeks. What might you say to Sue? 3. Pam always leaves the window open, making the office too cold for everyone. What do you say to Pam? 4. You saw a friend cheating on a test. What should you have done? 5. Whenever you make plans together, your friend arrives late. What do you say to your friend?
Other unusual places. At the Chocolate Museum in Cologne, Germany, you will learn everything you could possibly want to know about chocolate. You'll learn about its history, including how it was once used as money in South America. You'll see how chocolate is made in a real factory. After you finish the tour, you can taste a drink of rich, pure chocolate. The Gold Museum in Bogota, Colombia, holds one of South America's most wonderful collections. The exhibit sparkles so brightly you can actually take photographs without using a flash on your camera. A lot of the pre-Columbian items are made from a mixture of gold and copper, known as lumbago. The Empire State Building in New York was, for many years, the tallest building in the world. Built in 1935, it was completed in 315 days. The Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco is the tallest structure of its kind in the world and one of the most remarkable works of engineering. The Great Wall of China was built to protect the country from its enemies. It is the only structure in the world that can be seen from space. Grammar Structure 3. Embedded Questions. Whenever you use an introductory phrase before a question, you must change the word order in the question. Introductions include: Can you tell me? Do you know? I don't know. I'm not sure. I wonder. I can't remember. What's the time? Or, can you tell me what the time is? Where did he go? Or, I don't know where he went. 1. If the question has an auxiliary verb, swap the positions of the auxiliary verb and the subject. You can also do this in sentences with the verb to be. For example, when can you get here? Can is the auxiliary verb and you is the subject. Swap their positions when you add an introduction. Do you know when you can get here? 2. If the question is in the present or past simple, remove do, does, did from the question. Change the verb ending so that the verb is in the correct tense. For example, where did he go? Or, did you see where he went? What time do you get up? Or, can you tell me what time you get up? Where does she work? Or, I wonder where she works. 3. If a question does not have a question word, where, what, why, etc., use if or whether before the question. For example, does he live here? Or, do you know if he lives here? Are they coming to the party? Or, do you know whether they are coming to the party?
Research Spot. Look for more information about: Number 1. Ripley's Believe It or Not. Number 2. Unusual museums.